There, I think we're there. Hello, 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 and welcome along to Krater Drop-In. Have we got people? I can see people. People, turn on your video if you've just turned up. It's lovely to see you. I can see Karen and Dave. I can see JS. I can see Haley. I can see Danielle. It's good to see as well. There are lots of other people like Laura and Dan and Emma and Suzanne and Matthew and another Dan and Michael and Claire who haven't turned on their videos. Turn on your videos so we can see you guys as well. I'm particularly liking Mike. I'm not entirely sure what's happening with Mike right now. I love the way that the flowers are bigger than the people on Mike's camera right now. That is amazing. And there's a dog hiding by the flower. How did that fucking happen? Where did it That's ridiculous. I'm sorry, that was just astonishing. Yeah, hello dog. Hello Mike. I'm sure you can hear me. I can't hear you, but give us a little wave. Mike, people, there we go. Nice to have you. That is the position for the camera, isn't it? That's the kind of camera setup. When you want to sell that house, you've got yourself a little bit of a head start. Nice. Anyway, right, and who else have we got there? We've got Karen and Dave. Karen and Dave have been before. They know what to expect. Hi, Karen. Hi, Dave.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing, guys? You all right?
Really good, yeah. It's Friday.
Stuff, but you still didn't learn from last time. What do we learn from Ant and Dec? You always name yourself as you appear on the screen. So it is Dave and Karen. Otherwise, we get stuck in some
Dave.
Have you just changed that?
Conundrum. We're not entirely sure. That's fine. I mean, you can call each other Karen and Dave. I have reached the point of lockdown where that sort of behaviour is perfectly acceptable to just make the time go a little bit quicker. But yeah, good to have you guys. It was fun a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Very much so.
Were you here for the very beginning during the porn bombing out of curiosity?
Yeah, but we didn't see it.
You didn't see it. That is because our host, Andrew, is absolutely mustard. He whipped that cock away. Whipped cock away does sound like a line from The Sound of Music, I appreciate. But he did. He just cracked it away. Like they were batted it away like a, I don't know, like a sorority teenager. Just no interest. It just disappeared within seconds. How's your week been, Dave and Karen?
Okay,
long.
yeah, long. Yes, I'm a teacher. It's been very long.
Now, Karen, I've got to ask you a question specifically, Karen. Your name has fallen into disrepute, hasn't it? Exactly, to the point where the cat now has to mask your face. You are now, because a Karen is a thing now. You know this, Karen.
Well, Karen and Dave.
Well, no, but not just Karen, but Dave. Oh, Dave's have been around for. The thing about Dave's is no one can really. Dave is as a name is stereotypical of solid dependability, but a lack of spectacularness. You see, so it's kind of that's fine. We know what we're getting with a Dave, don't we? It's sort of kind of down the line. But Karens were totally normal people. I mean, admittedly, there was an element of your mum's mate Karen was a dinner lady sort of name, right? Okay, but like, there's not a amount to it. But suddenly a Karen is someone who gets upset on someone else's behalf or has to kind of start arguing on a Facebook forum about something tiny or get angry about things they don't really know much about. What's happened to your name, Karen?
Oh, no, it's not me. Definitely not.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying it's you. I'm saying it's all the other Karens. Have you met a child Karen yet?
No, and I'm a teacher, so...
Oh, are they? Look, that's the thing. See, your name, you've got an old lady name of the future. It's a nightmare, isn't it? See, at least Dave's lucky because the Welsh only have 8 names to pick from, so they just keep spitting out Davids every 5 seconds, right? Look, before you think I'm being out of order here, I'm a Stephen. Karen, are there any child Stephens in any of your classes?
No.
No, exactly. I've got an old man name of the future. If things don't work out in current relationships and stuff, and I've got to go dating again, I can't lie about my age because I'm Stephen. No, there's no one saying, "Oh, I'm Stephen. I'm 28." No, you aren't. Fucking delete. So it's like, yeah. I mean, I know how it feels, right? So Dave and Karen, you cling on to each other because you are literally unmarketable elsewhere. Good to have you guys here, and then looking around, a few other people. Oh, Sheena. Hello, Sheena. How you doing, Sheena? You're all right. Sheena, you have been mostly usurped by the dog. The dog has 70% sofa. You have 30% sofa. This is how it works, yeah?
That's a good ratio. It's normally a worse ratio than that.
Oh, is it really? Oh, right. Is this dog generosity? What's the name of your dog?
It's Cadbury.
So I wonder whether pets are getting an entertainment experience over lockdown that they're going to miss, that they're going to go cold turkey. Because realistically, if you were going to go to a comedy club, it's virtually impossible for you to take a pet with you, a cat or a dog. But we don't know. I mean, obviously, right now, your lovable household pet is lying back having a little sleep, a little lick. What are they licking right now?
The sofa.
It's the sofa. They're licking the sofa. Well, that is. I know everyone's got different standards for their dogs, but I'm still going to put that out of the heading of rancid. Okay, but, I mean that is, but they're going to miss out. They might be loving this. This might be the best time of their lives. What have you been doing this week, Sheena?
Working. Went for a walk in the park with my friend, which is obviously the new going out for a massive night out.
I know. You were out there going, oh my god. Do you know what? I've been looking at things to do after April the 12th, right? I've booked a day trip to the Isle of Wight, but I've stopped looking at things to do while I'm there in case it doesn't come off. This is how weird things have got. I've not allowed myself to get overexcited about a day to the Isle of Wight. I mean, how is that? It's like kind of. I'm thinking. Look, I was going to Google hotels. Maybe I could stay the night there. I went, don't get ahead of yourself, Stephen. It'll only get cancelled, and you'll just be disappointed. Anyway, well, Sheena, what was your work? What is your work that you do?
I'm a writer.
And what are you writing? Because you can do that kind of anywhere, can't you? So that's good for you.
I write about health information mainly. So like patient experience.
That's become really useful for the NHS or for a pharmaceutical company or?
No, charities. So.
Oh, right. Okay. Which is a good answer now because I can't take the piss without looking at Tosser. So thank you, Sheena, for waltzing into the Zoom call with your shield of moral steel. Lovely to have you here. No, genuinely, Sheena, what is the charity that you do stuff for?
It's called the Patient Information Forum. It's just about improving patient experience of interacting with health professionals and making sure it's accessible information and stuff like that.
The Patient Information Forum, eh? Anyway, so there you go. Look, that was an acronym joke just for you. That's never going to happen again. That was practically the same as doing a cameo. That was fabulous. And then what I particularly like with Simon and Manda is they've got some serious disco lightage going on right now. The fact that they basically had a choice: upgrade their webcam to something more than 200 pixels across, or buy disco lights. And as it is, it's disco lights. Yeah, no, it's the focus isn't working, isn't it? You try and do that thing, but it's not happening for you, is it?
You don't want to see us, so
what was that? Sorry?
it's probably best not to see us, so out of focus is fine.
Do you know what? You don't have to heckle yourselves. It's absolutely fine. You're in your own home. But the disco light thing is well, I mean, no, it's a Friday night. Why not? You're enjoying yourselves. Both of you got your best tartan pajama trousers on. And do you remember in the early days when you worried about what you put on before you got in front of the camera? Eh? Oh, that's gone. That's gone out the window. What have you been doing this week then, Simon?
Nothing. I'm unemployed. So nothing useful at all.
Well, I mean, say you're unemployed. Are you unemployed as a result of the pandemic, or were you unemployed coming into it?
As a result, but that was last year.
Right. So, can we not use being made unemployed last year as an excuse for being unemployed now anymore? It's a genuine question, Simon, because obviously I'm a stand-up comic, and right now this is technically a hobby when you look at my accounts. So, is this no longer? You are now just unemployed. You're not pandemic unemployed. You're not one of the forgotten thousands that Rishi has cruelly overlooked. You are now just unemployed.
Thankfully, no. I'm actively seeking employment.
You're actively seeking employment. I can tell by the way you've really brushed yourself up and are ready to approach the way of business. Because who knows who's on this call right now thinking, do you know what? I think Simon's the guy for us. What, the guy lying back on the sofa with his pajamas on to the public? Yeah, absolutely. He is going to drive our company forward. Well, look, it could happen, Simon. It could happen. And then Manda, what about you? Are you the breadwinner?
I am indeed. He's my house husband, and I'm quite happy with it that way.
Oh well, good. There you go. The demographic has worked out for you. What job do you do then, Manda?
I'm a medical writer.
Oh, another medical writer. Are you?
Yeah. I'm friends.
I've done before. Didn't like it.
Instructions or something like that, or what? What are you writing?
I write about all kinds of diseases.
Great. Well, fabulous. Well, it's boom time in Manda's world. That's all I can say for writing about diseases. Well, writing about diseases, though. But that's got to be a growth industry. There's so many out there right now. Right. Anyway, look. Loads of happy smiling faces I can see in front of me now, which is great. Those of you who have just turned up, we want to see your faces as well for the benefit of the acts. 2 reasons. Firstly, because it gives us that kind of feeling like we're playing to a live audience. The second reason we want to see your faces is because it really affects our timing to know that you guys have found it funny. We can wait for the laugh that we thought we could hear, but you're muted. And then we go straight on with it, you see, before we reapproach the world of live. So thank you very much, Claire, who just pushed it off, and then she turned it off again. Fuck it. We got a second. That was it. Maybe if we do better, Claire will put a video on for a little bit longer. It's fine. It's a reward-based system. I fully understand that. We have got, as ever with Krater Drop-In, the way it works is the world of comedy says, Stephen, I've got some new bits I want to try out. I want to do a little bit of comedy. Can I do it? And they just drop in. And I'm watching the people in the green room right now, and we have got a fabulous lineup of people who are going to come and entertain you. So I'm looking at my little lineup right now and seeing who's up first. Excellent. The guy who is up first, let me tell you, in the world of comedy, we have a comedian's vote for our comedian of the year. So only comics can vote for this. And he won the comedian of the year. So if you guys don't like him, it's because you don't understand comedy as well as us. So that's how it works, really. So this is the pressure's on you. Normally the pressure's on the comic. Now the pressure's on you, right, to find him fun. No, he's a brilliant comic and you'll love his work. So with that kind of applause that you can do when I can see you, even though Paul is looking incredibly serious right now. Are you okay, Paul? I'm just making absolutely sure that you haven't pushed the wrong Zoom link and you're expecting this to be a kind of a CEO kind of debrief or something. You do know this is comedy. That's fine.
No, just taking a drink, so it's serious business.
Serious business. Right, fine. Okay, well, I'll let you. Well, pissed does help us become more funny. So, hands together, welcome to the stage, the virtual stage, the fabulous Scott Bennett.
Woo!
Hello, good evening, Krater Drop-In. How are we? We good?
Oh, good.
You can hear me okay? Excellent. As Stephen said, Comedian's Comedian 2020. Very proud of that. And all it took was the entire comedy industry to grind to a halt for that shit to happen. It's incredible. I've won an award at a time where I can do absolutely nothing with it. Good, that, isn't it? Can't do anything with it at all. But here I am. I'll tell you where I am. I'm genuinely in my garden shed. This is what it looks like when a comedian works from home. It's desperate, isn't it? Let's be honest, it is. I mean, I used to be an artist. Do you know that? I used to perform in theatres and comedy clubs, and now I come in this shed and shout punchlines into that webcam to complete strangers. It's not comedy. It's like a cross between Babe Station and B&Q, isn't it? That's what it is, really. But I feel like we're coming out. We're coming back to normality slowly. Things are happening. The main thing is that my children are now back at school. And let me tell you, that was an incredible day. It was worth having this pandemic for that moment. I'm sorry. It was genuinely worth it. We were met at the gates by the teacher, and she said, I just want to allay your fears, Mr. Bennett. Olivia's going to be fine. We're going to keep them all in their individual bubbles. We've got a one-way system. Can I just stop you there, Miss Jenkins? I just want to say, I don't give a shit, okay? I don't care if they're licking each other. Do you know what I mean? I don't care if it's 70 to a classroom pressed against the windows with fingers up each other's bumholes. You can have them. I am done with these dickheads. I've got a year's worth of cash in the attic to get through. Do you understand that? They're your problem now. You know, it's been such a strange time. I don't think we realise quite how insane it's been. I think, do you know, some of the government policy has been incredible. Back in June 2020, the government said to people, listen, no casual sex. I was like, all right. I didn't think I was having any. Do you know what I mean? I'm married, mate. I have married sex. It's very different. You know, I'll see the invite pop up in the Google Calendar. You know, I click attend. I mean, I have to, otherwise someone else gets in. You've got to be fast. And it's not been the year to cheat on someone, has it really? Like this, because it's not just STDs you got to worry about. It's track and trace, isn't it? And that's found so many people out. Imagine that, sitting there watching the telly. You get a text message saying you've got to isolate because they've traced an outbreak to Molly's Midnight Massage Parlour. Trying to explain. How could you, John? I don't understand, love. I wore a mask. It was a leather one with zips. You know what I mean? I had a ball gag in. It's been a trying time. But I've had the jab this week, by the way, because I'm in the vulnerable category as an artist. Of course. He asked me which arm I wanted. I said, stage left, darling, stage left. But I had the AstraZeneca, lovely model, lowered alloy wheels, power steering, great. And I actually, do you know, I wanted the Russian one. I wanted the Sputnik 5. Do you know what I mean? Just to see the size of the needle. That would have been interesting, wouldn't it? But Sputnik 5. Do you know, that sounds like one up from Sillet Bang, that, doesn't it, really? No one knows what's in that. I think it's just Lemsip and vodka. I think that's all it is, right? You know that Putin tested it on his own kids. The man is a hero. Seriously, I can't even get my two to try broccoli. Do you know what I mean? That's incredible, really. I think that we're worried about all sorts of stuff. I've been in a toxic relationship in lockdown as well, with my inkjet printer. I don't know if anyone's fucking hate that thing. Why can we've put people on the moon, right? We've got incredible technology and we still can't design a printer that isn't an absolute bastard. Why is that? Honestly? I get so angry with it. Sometimes I pull the power cord out the back. The light stays on. Why is it? There's only one thing powering that: resentment. Do you know what I mean? But it's ridiculous. It's like having a teenage boy in the house. He just sits in the corner all day grunting. Right? There's a light on, but nothing's happening. And it's costing me a fortune. I paid 30 quid for it. Do you know how much a year I've spent on ink? £615, people. That's like someone selling you a car for 500 quid and you find out that it only runs on unicorn piss. That's what that is, isn't it? and people would protest against these companies. They would march. Do you know that? They would, but they can't afford to print the placards. It's a scam, what it is. But I think it brings me on to my next point, right? I think we've forgotten certain things, like the environment. That sort of took a back seat, hasn't it? Like, and I think that's a problem. We're past the point of no return, like according to David Attenborough. And I think the only way we'll deal with that situation in England, in the Britain, is to be shamed into it. That's the only way we do anything. Like, do you know what I mean? If you've got a dental appointment on Friday, like on Wednesday, you'll start giving a shit about your teeth, won't you? Start trying to reverse years of neglect. You'll floss, you'll cut out sugar, anything to avoid being told off. You know, we need to do that with the environment. You should get an email that says, listen, we're going to check on your environment, okay? We're not going to tell you when, right? But be ready, yeah? And you'll be sat there one day watching the telly, and then you'll see her come up the driveway, Greta Thunberg, with a clipboard. You'll be like, oh shit, turn that fire off. Jesus. What you do? Recycle, lovely. Your wife will be in the downstairs toilet flushing away plastic straws like crack cocaine. Do you know? She's here, she's angry. You would have that shit sorted in a week. I swear we would. But I think that's why we're getting all these storms, you know. And this brings me on to my next point. When are we going to sort these storm names out, people? Why have we still got Storm Darcy and Storm Francis? It's not threatening enough, is it? How do you prepare for Storm Darcy? Get the best crockery out. I mean, it's not really scary enough, isn't it? In the last storm, right, I lost a trampoline and a wheelie bin, right? That is the behavior of a Darren, isn't it? That is what we need. If Storm Darren was coming, you'd batten shit down, wouldn't you? Darren just comes in, oh, mate, you want your fucking rattan? It's over next door, mate. That's where that shit's going. Yeah, you want that chimney? Here? Best race for it, boy. Here you go. That's what you want. You prepare for a Darren. And why? And why are we still sending weather reporters into the eye of a storm? We believe you. Okay, it's the weather. Who are you trying to convince? We believe you. We can see it. We can hear it on the. I don't need to see Carol Kirkwood getting hit by a fucking fence panel. Do I? I don't need to see it. I don't need to see Thomas Schaffenacker clinging onto a conifer. I don't need to see his BBC issue Cagoog in 100-mile-an-hour winds telling me to stay in. Why don't you stay in, mate? I've got an app. What are you doing out there, Thomas? It's been stressful, but I'm glad, and I'll leave you with this. I'm glad that I've had my wife with me in lockdown, Gemma. We've been together 2 mattresses. It's a long time, isn't it? 15 silent night years. You know, we have those nights in, snuggle up on the sofa, you know, each of us on our own phones, you know, just browsing through Facebook to find the people we should have married. But it's we met in the era before the dick pic. Do you know, that's quite interesting, really. I mean, I couldn't send her one now. I've thought about it, but I couldn't. I mean, she's seen that miserable organ from every single angle. There's no mystery there. I might as well send her a picture of the fridge. Do you know what I mean? She'd just be like, no, I'm trying to make a salad. Do you know what I mean? The only way a dick pic will be a surprise in our relationship is if she sent me one. It really would be. But yeah, so thank you all for listening. That's about my time. So thank you, Stephen, for having me. I've been Scott Bennett. Enjoy the rest of your night. Cheers. Good night.
Scott Bennett, ladies and gentlemen. Scott Bennett. There we go. And we're off and going. It was fine. Though I was listening to Scott while realising that the PayPal link doesn't work anymore. But not a single person messaged to say, I tried to donate, but I couldn't do it. So don't worry, that'll be working in the best part of 5 minutes. It's both worrying and reassuring. Because I thought, oh no, think of all the money we would have lost. And the answer was none of it. No one has contributed. But anyway, we're off to a cracking start there with a brilliant Scott Bennett. And there we go. We are flying. And so I'm going to hand over now to a great mate of mine and a fabulous comedian. You're going to love her stuff. Please welcome her to the stage, as much as it exists, the phenomenal Callie Beaton.
Oh, thank you, guys. Give it up for your amazing MC, everybody. Oh, that's about what he gets in real clubs, to be fair. No, it's not. It's not. It's great to be doing a gig during a pandemic for comedians where we literally know we can't get paid. Isn't that great? There's no possibility that we're going to earn anything from tonight. But no, it's so good to be here. I mean, you're having a good global pandemic, everybody. Woo! I mean, isn't life's beautiful, isn't it? Aren't you just living your best life? I tell you what, right? People say to us, they say, is it tricky for comedians doing Zoom gigs? And honestly, we don't mind Zoom gigs. I'll tell you what's tricky, right? Is in between the lockdowns, we were doing indoor socially distanced gigs. We were doing outdoor gigs, even if it was freezing. We were doing drive-in gigs. Can you imagine? It's very hard to come back from a heckle where someone just turns their engine on and fucks off. It's a very difficult thing to do. And we ended up doing this. The last gig I did, right, before the last lockdown, was in a brewery car park in Leighton Buzzard. That was my last gig. It was like a cross between a gig and dogging. It was a very difficult situation. Drums, like, I know what you said. Now you're talking about dogging. He's suddenly awake. We found our level. Do you know what Drum will know this? Is that your name, Drum?
It is, yeah.
It's actually Drum. So if I met you, you'd say, hi, I'm Drum. Nice to meet you, Callie.
I would say it's drum.
It's
and then
drum.
I'd say drum again because you'd have gone, what?
Oh, I see. It's all right, Drum. I'll do the jokes. So, no, Drum. You'll know this. So, like, when it was tier 4, I think that actually it was all right, wasn't it? Dogging was allowed, wasn't it? As long as there were only 6 of you in the car, it was all right. And you had to have a substantial meal, didn't you? But apart from that, it was fine. It's been lovely weather today, hasn't it? The spring has sprung. Anyone been out and about doing anything nice? I was in the garden today. I say garden. My garden, I'm in Camden in London. My garden is about the size of a pillowcase. I sometimes think I mow away more when I shave, to be honest. It's all right, it's just a joke. I don't shave. So no, but it's really, really nice. But I should tell you who I am, I guess. So I'm Callie. I'm a single parent of 2 teenagers, apart from on Tinder, where I'm a single, fun-loving nurse. So nice to see you again, Drum. So no, it's we laugh. I've got a boy and a girl. My boy's the ginger one. He's my favourite, and he's an incredible kid, my son. He was diagnosed with autism a few years ago, and I didn't know anything about it when he was diagnosed, but luckily he was on hand to write me a list, so we soon got through that. It's all right to laugh. Even Suzanne Bird, who's having, I don't know what she's having, but it's a good sized meal, Suzanne. So no, you can she'd have been all right in tier 4, wouldn't she? She could have got in anywhere. Jokes like that. Anyway, so it's a bit of an autist's charter, this whole sort of lockdown thing, right? He's been waiting his whole life to be told he's got to stay in his bedroom and not talk to anyone. He's been delighted. I get saying, you're meant to go out for an hour a day. He's like, I don't have to. I said, you're meant to go. He was like, no, honestly, I've been told by the NHS, I've got to stay home, I've got to save lives, and I've got to protect my score on Dungeons and Dragons. He's taken it very, very seriously. And my little one, she passed her A-levels last summer.
Hey.
You're right to give that nothing. Everyone passed their A-levels, didn't they, last summer? You just picture A-levels, picture uni. I dropped her off at Bristol University for the first time 6 months ago. And honestly, I got in the car, it hit me. I started thinking about things like the drugs, the partying, the casual sex, all the things I'd do now the house was empty. God, those days. She's back now, like a fucking boomerang. So, I will say I've only got another minute or two. I know we've got loads of amazing acts on tonight, so I don't want to encroach on their time, but I have had a big birthday this week, so I just thought I'd mention that I am now a woman in my 50s.
Yay.
Thank you. Most of you, I'll take your silence as stunned. That's absolutely fine. There was this, I don't know if there are any women my kind of age. Either give us a whoop if you're my sort of age.
Yay.
Brilliant. And drums joining in as well, so that's nice. Yeah, drum will have the same thing as me. Wear a bra, don't wear a bra. It's hard to know in lockdown, isn't it, drum? But no, there was this B-list French celebrity, right? He made global headlines, 50-year-old guy, because he said a woman at 50 is invisible. You're very lucky to be seeing me tonight. And then he said, the body of a 25-year-old woman is extraordinary, but there is nothing extraordinary about the body of a 50-year-old woman. That's what this guy said. And I'll tell you right here, right now, right? There's plenty extraordinary about my body. When I sneeze, I piss. Monsieur. Careful, Hayley, don't laugh too much unless you've got a towel. So no, it's but I will just leave you with one last sort of observation, really. Look, you won't know this, but you owe me actually a debt of gratitude. And I'm just going to tell you why, okay, collectively, why you should be thanking me. Because a week ago Monday, right, 10 days ago, I was doing a Zoom gig. I did a brand new joke about Piers Morgan. Next morning, he got fired. So here's a joke about Matt Hancock. No, I'm just talking about, guys, you've been absolutely brilliant. If you like me, give me a follow at Callie Beaton. If you're not so sure, I've been Dawn French. Thanks for having me. Good night.
Callie Beaton, everybody. Callie Beaton, and Callie is she's on. Wait, do you know what? She does loads of her own stuff as well. So have a look at calliebeaton.com, and she filmed QI 2 days ago as well, actually. So I feel very cool that I know Callie, who's on QI. Right. Normally I get to do a little bit more. There were a few people get a chance to speak, chat to. Paul has disappeared now, leaving. I'm assuming Paul's other. Is that your other half, Paul? Is that Paul's other half? Hello. So unmute yourself. Hello. Who's that? Oh no, I know. You're a regular. You're back, aren't you? How are you? You're all right.
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you very much. How's it going tonight compared to the other shows? You've seen all of them, haven't you?
Passion.
Yeah, Paul's aged a bit. My God, he's just wandered past. Christ, what happened?
It's my dad.
It's your dad, is it? Right, okay. I was a little bit concerned there, actually. I'll be fair, honest with you. He wandered off, I had a chat, and then he came back again. He looked like he put another 20 years on. I was thinking, those Zoom filters are phenomenal, aren't they? Anyway, look at that. There's regulars. Regulars, a good sign, regulars. It means that we weren't so rubbish that people didn't want to come back another time. And then what I like as well is that over here, where we've got Danielle, is that you've decided to put your phone in portrait. So both of you have to lean in to get your heads in. Excellent. You could just literally turn the phone on the side, but as it is, we'll just try and do that. That's excellent. Who's that? Danielle and who is that?
Adam.
Daniel and Adam. Hi guys. Good week. Been good.
Hi.
Yeah. Right. So are you both working?
Yeah. I'm working tomorrow and Sunday as well.
Oh no! What do you have to do, Adam?
Just a cleaning job.
Did you have to put it down? Cleaning job still. It's very important. You know, what are you cleaning?
Plant machinery.
Plant machinery. Boom! Trust me. And everybody wants that job as well. Is it one of those ones where if you're not concentrating, it might get switched on and you lose an arm?
Nah.
No, it's fine. Okay, fine. Which implies it is. You just didn't realise. Okay. Well, there we go. Good. Right. Well, look. There you go. They managed to squeeze into their screen. Loads of acts coming up, and so I'm going to hand over to the next one. Please put your hands together and welcome to the stage, Nick Elleray.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. What a month. What a month, hey, fellas. Did anyone else celebrate International Women's Day? I did. I'm allowed to. I'm half woman on my mother's side. So, all right. I'm sure I'm not the only one going through this, but I've had these weight fluctuations. Sure, we've all had these sort of shifts in, yeah, exactly. So like what with the hand washing, I actually dropped 2 glove sizes. So now I finally got my beach hands ready for this year. But unfortunately, I can now get the final Pringles out of the bottom of the tube. So I put on about 10 kg around the waist. So, swings and roundabouts. I'm enjoying not having to handshake anyone, because I know a lot of young people, I don't know if any of you guys know young people, but young people have they have a lot of variations on handshakes, the traditional handshake. I have young friends and they'll do things, they'll come up and they'll just go like, you know, come here, brother. And I'm like, oh, shit. Or they'll, you know, do something like that. And I just say, you know, look at me. Just shake the hand, okay? Just shake the hand, and I won't ask you how to operate a fax machine, okay? No one needs to be humiliated in this situation. I used to live in London, and I'm now down by the sea. I'm in Hastings. I moved down during lockdown. Everything fell apart in London, broke up with my girlfriend and everything, came down to the sea. And the most annoying thing is that everyone wants to tell you how much they love the sea. Like whenever you're talking to someone who doesn't live by the sea, and they're just kind of like, oh my God, the sea. I love the sea, you know. I mean, have you seen the sea? And yeah, everyone loves the sea. Unless you've lost a relative to the Kraken, everybody loves the sea. They try and make out, you know, oh, I've got a connection with the sea. And I go, look, I don't think it's exclusive. I think the sea is seeing other people as well, man. I don't think it's unique to you. And they always act as if it's this thing that, you know, like a prestige drama that only they know about. And they go, oh my God, you have to see the sea. Have you seen the season 2 when the fish comes in? You wait for it. Wait for it. You're going to love it. You're going to love the sea. As I said, I had a relationship fall apart before I came down to live here because we didn't live in the same house. And so the relationship couldn't sustain over, you know, online Scrabble once a week. Once COVID kicked in, I tried to improve things, you know, moved on to chess, other games, when she, you know, the magic was gone. But the last girlfriend was very spiritual. You know, she was a yoga teacher, which was great because early in the relationship, she said to me, you know, Nick, the thing I really love about you is that you haven't spent your life pursuing status. I'm going to take it as a compliment. And also, if you're thrilled about the lack of status, then wait till you hear about the money and the property situation. You're going to lose your mind. How enlightened I am about that as well. When I mentioned the bachelor pad, I only call it that because the 5 dudes I share with are also bachelors. So what a bachelor catchment area, really. We used to do a lot of spiritual stuff together, my girlfriend and I. You know, we'd, you know, go to Planet Organic. That's the most spiritual thing that I would do anyway. There's a lot of difficult decisions to make at Planet Organic. You know, you find yourself standing there saying, oh man, should I get the cashews or should we go on holiday this year? But, we can only do one. We can only do one. I'm not made of money. I worry about being single at this age because I don't drink anymore and I don't know how it happens. How does love happen without booze? I've never had a relationship start without booze. Because the thing is, if you go on a date, what's going to happen is one of you eventually has to, if you want to escalate it into the physical realm, and you don't use that phrase for a start, but have a few drinks and one of you takes a shot, you know, one of you takes a chance and, you know, lunges like a hungry shark essentially. And if that isn't reciprocated and you're just standing there and you say like, yeah, I'm sorry, I was so sober, I knew exactly what I was doing. I guess the good thing is we'll both remember this with absolute clarity for the rest of our days. So that's on the upside. Guys, that is my time. Thanks very much for spending your Friday night with me, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Nick Elleray, everybody, Nick Elleray. There we go. Thank you very much there, Nick, as well. Stood up as well. It's kind of weird, isn't it? You always look at the backdrop trying to work out where people are. Nick, are you actually at home? Because
I am, yeah. I'm in the lounge room.
That looks like a really modern office. And when you say you're in Hastings, I'm sure, I mean, I'm from Brighton, well, and, you know, there are a lot of people from Sussex right now, and we've just got this idea of Hastings being, let's be brutally honest, a crack den. and it looks really modern. So you've done really well for yourself in that respect.
I am actually in an office. Yeah,
It is an
landed
office,
on
is
my
it? Right,
feet.
okay, that does make a lot more sense. Because realistically, if you were squatting and you picked an office in mid-April, no one's noticed. You've probably had a really good. You've probably been there for quite a while, haven't you? So anyway, Nick, lovely to see you, mate. By the way, we have got the link working. It is now in the chat. So if you look at the chat at the bottom, you will see a link there. Krater Drop-In chip in, and then that allows you to put some money towards us and the acts, and I'll be really grateful. You can do it now or towards the end of the show. That's the link will be there right until the end, and I might mention it again. I reckon it'll be ready to go about the time when Suzanne finishes her food. How much have you got in that bowl? I mean, you've literally been eating for the best part of 15 minutes. I honestly, I don't know, either that you're doing that actor thing and there's not actually anything in there, but more food has come out of that bowl than there's in that bowl. It's one of these biblical bowls that feeds a village, isn't it, Suzanne? What is going, can I ask, what is it? Is it late night cereal? Is it porridge? What is it? Is it soup? It can't be soup because you've been tipping it.
Homemade like pasta with tuna and everything. I was hungry.
There's nothing wrong with that. When you say homemade pasta, by the way, there are two types of pasta, because pasta is very much across the entire what I would call class spectrum. And when you say homemade, trust me, there are some middle class people watching right now going, you rolled out the flour and the eggs yourself. Maybe you made your own gluten free. But when you say homemade pasta, you reach for one of those 1 kilo student bags, didn't you, of hard pasta. And then you put it in boiling water and you took it out when it was just about soft enough to not break your fork. Is that right, Suzanne? Fair enough. Okay, right. So when it's homemade pasta, I was at home and I made pasta. We've just missed out some key words from the sentence there, haven't we? With tuna and what was it?
Tuna and capers and chilies.
Oh, capers is good. Capers has elevated you, not quite to dinner party level, but slightly above student who probably will leave fine art midway through the second year level. So, you know, you've done all right. That's the key thing. It was nice to see Nick there as well. I don't want to take the piss out of Hastings slightly. I just know it moderately well. When Callie was talking all about being a single parent, by the way, a single parent, it's quite hard because when she talks about being a single mum, there's jokes she can do because there's a stereotype to do with single mums. I was thinking about this. There's no stereotype to do with single dads, is there? I'm a single dad, but you don't know whether that means you feel sorry for me or you laugh at me or whether you think I'm a failure or whether you think I'm courageous. But it is different and difficult, but like in a different way, in as much as like we don't have the children for as long, so it's quite tough for us because that last hour before we've got the kids knowing it'll be aged, that last hour before we hand them back, so hard. Trying to get as much Haribo in them as possible was really fucking difficult. So I'm in there in the nutrient, Daddy, I can't eat anymore. Fucking have some more. Daddy, I feel sick. It's all right to be sick, but in Dave's car. You know, it's just tricky being a single dad. Anyway, right, I'm wearing on. I shouldn't do that because we've got loads of people coming up. Welcome our next act. Good mate of mine, a phenomenal comic. Please welcome Alistair Barry.
Hello, lovely people. Many of you will be wondering why I am wearing a face mask at this point in a Zoom gig, quite rightly for you to wonder that. Basically, the bottom line is I've been a stand-up comedian for about 21 years at this point, and I haven't done my job for 11 months. So there is a good chance that this might be shit. Basically, I don't want you to know what I look like. The only thing, I mean, let's okay, I think I can remove a mask, can't I? Really, some of you looking, going, Christ, how powerful is this South African variant? It can go across Zoom. But I mean, it's all bollocks, isn't it? Let's face it. I mean, we've all done various things during these gigs. I've grown some quite extravagant facial hair, which has been tremendous fun because who really cares anymore? You don't wash, you don't change your pants. Why not just mess around? I grew a proper WG Grace beard. Thing is that you think you're going to be one thing and then it turns out to be something completely different, isn't it? You know, I thought I was going to look like quite the hipster. According to my wife, I looked homeless. So then decided to shave it down into what I was rather hoping was a natty little D'Artagnan number. And now, according to my wife, I look like a paedophile. was quite. I don't associate paedophiles with being this well groomed. To be honest, I mean, to be honest, I thought they were into a completely different type of grooming, and you do wonder if it's all been a horrible mistake. Anyway, it's lovely to be here on a what is it, Friday night, listening to Stephen trying to. There's no description for single dads, is there? No, none at all. There, I don't know about you guys. I sometimes think of single dads as pedantic people who sit in booths surrounded by posters of their own name, picking holes in other people's pasta cookery. But that's me, you know, thinking that that's the sort of thing that Stephen enjoys. I hope you're all well. Bless your hearts. In terms of the beard, Drum, I have to say, has absolutely outshone the rest of us completely. In terms of the gigs, I hope these are just weird. I've done loads of them. They can be really good. I think a lot of us have learned how to do them. I did do a corporate gig the other day where the company concerned was so concerned about the level of behavior to be expected from their workforce that they insisted that everyone muted their microphone, which meant I had to perform a gig to complete and utter silence for 20 minutes, which is what you worry about mostly when you do a corporate gig. The money's usually a bit better. And the worst thing about that is the boss coming up to you at the end and going, well, that didn't go very well, did it? Although luckily in this situation, I was able to turn around and just say, how could you tell? So it's been, and I must apologise in terms of backdrop. Stephen was talking about where we're all coming from. I, as you can see, is coming to you from some sort of Swedish sex sauna. This is actually my I must apologise actually about the complete lack of flags behind me. I feel that is absolutely letting the side down, and I'm clearly some sort of revolutionary communist for not having an upside down Union Jack somewhere in sight. I don't know how you're finding living under this government, but I personally want to shoot myself in the face quite a lot. Government, we had this thing that asked, you know, if you don't like it here, why don't you go and live somewhere else? Well, because you fuckers have just taken 27 countries off the list of places I can fucking visit. That's why, motherfuckers. One time you might think you could sort it out and move forward. The two people who, yeah, just as this is all thinking, maybe some sort of pact and some sort of electoral reform so that I don't have to die under a Conservative government. And today, Keir Starmer calls for Nicola Sturgeon to resign. Well, thank you very much, Einstein, for fuck's sake. I'm getting more and more furious during lockdown. My wife is getting utterly irritated with me. I just keep on shouting at the television. We've got the one thing I think we've all learned is that shit Tory prime ministers are like buses, aren't they? You wait ages and then three come along at once. We've had obviously we had Cameron, who gave us the whole EU shit sandwich. Theresa May, a woman so grey a ghost would shiver as it walked through her. You know? Pair of designer trousers in search of a personality. I mean, I think we can all agree we've met filing cabinets with more charisma, but she fucked off, and now we're left with Alexander Boris de Perfeffel Johnson. That is his full name, Alexander Boris de Perfeffel Johnson. Oh, you do think, well, thank fuck he's on our side in the battle against the elites. Right. I don't know about you guys, but every time I head down to the barricades, it's always the de Perfeffels who are hogging the front row of the dictatorship of the proletariat. Them and the Rees-Moggs can't stop standing up for the workers and complaining in forming a grime crew to rap about the project of fucking Eton. So a lot of this is new material, by the way. I am no, I mean we put them out. This is Johnson. At the moment they're accusing Sturgeon of lying, and the head of the Conservatives in Scotland is saying she must go if she lies to Parliament. And you're watching Boris. There must be people who there must be people watching Boris Johnson lying, and they know he's lying and they don't care, right? And then there must be people who don't realise he's lying. And I think the first lot, I don't know how they live with themselves, and the second lot, I don't know how they dress themselves. Genuine, you've got this man who he's been giving us the rules during lockdown. He's been late to everything. He's been shady on so many things, cronyism, blah, blah, blah. But this is the man who, I don't know if you saw him a few months back trying to explain the rule of 6. Oh my, it was like probably similar to him trying to explain his childcare arrangements. Genuinely, you can meet them in the pub on a Thursday as long as the nanny is with the third mistress whose wife doesn't know that you're husband. It was, and then this is the man who was trying to get us away from the rules imposed upon us by the EU. And you just think, like, it doesn't matter what side of the debate you're on. The EU is mostly made up of Western liberal democracies. We all more or less wanted the same rules, didn't we? The rules are fair. It's not Russia where poisoning is a national pastime. Generally speaking, the rules are broadly similar. And yet there are these mad fucking Tory Eurosceptics running around going, well, I want to paint my bottom blue and jump up and down naked on a Thursday singing Aruga, 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 and these faceless Brussels bureaucrats won't let me. Fucking madness, I'm going to say. And I don't know how you're. I'm just seeing what else. I've got some notes here because I'm just seeing what else there is I could shout at you about. Frankly, the planet is being destroyed, but that's all right. We've got our own renewable source of energy here because Boris Johnson provides enough hot air and wind farms to fuck the joke up. Nearly got there, but that was not quite right. The other person who's annoying, Jeff Bezos, in the middle of all of this, fucking retiring. What a cunt. Right? Have you spent all of lockdown just going, don't buy stuff on Amazon, don't buy stuff on Amazon, don't buy stuff on Amazon, oh God, I've got to buy it on Amazon, why? And then in the middle of it all, the world's wealthiest man literally goes, I have too much money to even work anymore, fuck you. And yeah, and do you know what he said? He said the other day is when you've got this much money, I mean, I don't know what else to spend it on apart from space travel. And you think, pay your fucking staff, maybe. Anyway, I personally speaking have had to, because I've given up my career to have children. That was not intentional, but unfortunately, I've got a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. That came out wrong. Rightfully, I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. My 3-year-old is back at playgroup. Fucking yes. She's at that stage where she keeps on bringing back stuff. That's like pictures, and you just think, I don't want another glittery rocket. You just think, fuck, you know what? If this was Bangladesh, at least I get a pair of trainers. Anyway, on that note, I'm 49 minutes, and that's probably enough of me. You've got some lovely people in the room. Stephen, lovely to see you, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, you too, Alistair.
I will see you all soon. All the best. Take care. Goodbye.
Alistair Barry, who has attacked my choice of backdrop of flyers of my 23 years in comedy. Realistically, I should show my bookshelf like anybody else. So there we go. That's the West Wing of my library. And no, clearly, he's always taking the piss out of Amazon, but that's all we wear now at work. Now we all work in the Amazon warehouse, don't we now?
You're such a techie nerd.
You know full well where we are, don't you? Fucking job centre. No work whatsoever. Right, okay, let's go back to where I was with my narcissism. We got an extra act who's just barreled in to try some stuff out. So, ladies and gentlemen, please hand over to the phenomenal Mark Simmons.
Hi. How's it going, everybody? You well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, start the clock. I've got some new jokes to try, so I'm just going to do them and tick them or cross them, depending on how they do. So don't panic if it's a bad one. There might be a good one in a minute. Let's get cracking. So my friend wants me to join his gang, and he phoned me the other day. He said, we're doing a burglary. Are you in? I said, no, and he robbed my house.
No.
So my girlfriend got annoyed at me the other day for turning the alarm off and just leaving her sleeping. But on the plus side, she got to meet some firemen. So my girlfriend actually broke up with me during COVID, and when she was doing it, she said, look, don't make this harder than it already is. I said, so I pulled up my pants. I can't work out whether someone interrupted that halfway through or it's not funny.
Sorry.
Did you hear it all?
Yeah.
No.
They're just not funny. Okay, cool. I think I cocked up the delivery anyway.
That's fine.
So another one, I've not got time. So my friend, I had an argument with my friend about what part of the body gets circumcised. I said it's the penis, end of. Okay. So so there's this girl I liked, and she told me that she wasn't interested in me. And my friend gave me a bit of a motivational speech, and he was like, "You get back out there, you show her what she's missing." Turns out she didn't even know I nicked her bra. Like, right. There's something in that, but that's not it. Okay, let's do a quick thing. Okay, Dave and Karen, hello.
No.
Dave, how tall are you?
5'10".
Okay, how tall are you, Karen?
5'4".
Cool. JS, how tall are you?
I'm 5'11".
Oh, nice one. Sheena, how tall are you?
5'1".
Nice one. Paul, how tall are you?
About 5'6".
Oh, nice. I'm so proud of myself. I used to be scared of heights. I feel like the more people I do, the funnier that's going to get. The other day, I thought it was going to kick off at Telescope Club because this bloke kept saying, "What are you looking at?" I don't know if that's any good. So I met a guy who runs Masturbators Anonymous meetings, but he wouldn't tell me when he holds it. It's hard to get any rhythm with this. So my friend's a lawyer, and he told me the other day that he's been involved in quite an ugly child custody case. I said, "Look, shouldn't matter." Cool. So my friend suffers a bit from anxiety, and I said to him, "If you ever start to panic, take a deep breath." Anyway, he drowned. So I met a guy, he said he's a private English teacher. I said, "If you were, you wouldn't have told me." Well, that sounded sarcastic. So sometimes I blow raspberries, although most people practice with a banana. God knows. I asked a woman if she wanted to go on a date with me metal detecting, but she says she's not looking for anything at the moment. My girlfriend said that she thinks I go through her phone, according to one of her WhatsApp groups. I brought a chin-up bar. It's where sad people go to drink. I just got a new kidnapping van. Get it. So my girlfriend and I are in a gang called the 69ers. We're very loyal. If she's going down, I'm going down with her. So the other day I sent a dick pic and it leaked. So I didn't send that one. Shouldn't have said send. I ruined that. That's fine. I said send twice. I meant did a dick pic, but you know, whatever. I like to toast marshmallows. So here's to all the marshmallows. What else? That one. Letter on what? I don't know what that is. So my landlord, I moved into a new place, and my landlord said there's to be no pets, smoking, or doing drugs. I said it's okay. My dog doesn't do either. My tapestry exam's looming.
Mum's well, not impressed.
Oh.
Who was that? Who was that?
That was very harsh.
No, I can't. I mean,
I didn't like that joke.
You didn't like it?
No, my mum didn't like that joke.
Oh, your mum didn't. Where's your mum?
My mum's here.
Oh, right. I mean, why didn't you like the tapestry joke?
Well, I don't know. I just think it's like old people and sewing and like.
I've actually got, here we go. I'll win you over with this. I've got a really good joke about sewing. Right, my nan was teaching me to sew, right? And I was sitting there and she was showing me the, sorry, I've lost my thread. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for letting me try my new jokes out.
Yay! Mark Simmons there, trying out some new jokes literally for the first time. This is the beautiful thing about Krater Drop-In. He just literally sent me a message once had already gone saying, "I'm going to come in, try some new stuff out," and he did. Oh, some of them were quite good. I like the masturbation club. When do you hold it? There you go. That was just So anyway, but we'll workshop the jokes a little bit later. We've got a green room where we can all chat to each other, so it works quite nicely. Right, we have got to barrel on because we've got another 1, 2, 3 acts to go, and that means less time for me, sadly. But never mind, because great acts are going to be gracing the stage, including this guy. I worked with him many, many times. You're in for a treat. Please welcome the brilliant Nick Page.
Hello, which is me. Hello, Stephen. Thank you for telling me to buy this camera. It's clearly a lot better. I can see me clearly. I apologise to everybody for it. Is the sound clear enough?
Yeah.
See, then it's all working. Hooray for technology. Sorry, I'm looking slightly dazed. I have a 6-month-old son. 2020 was supposed to be like my best ever year. January the 1st, 2020, my wife took a pregnancy test and discovered that aged 50, I was about to become a dad for the first time. I've got to say, the last time my life was impacted that quickly by a couple of lines in a toilet, it was because they'd been cut with laxative. So now, 6 months on, I've got a kid. I've discovered that you will never, as a couple, lie to each other as readily as when you've got a baby. So the first lie, of course, is in the lead up to having the baby, you're like, we're not going to be those people that have got a house full of crap. We've seen people who've got kids and their houses are full of toys and baby clothes and laundry and nappy buckets and chaos. We don't need to do that. The kid can play with a couple of things at a time and then we'll put them away. That clearly is a lie. The second thing was, we don't need to find out whether we're having a boy or a girl. We'll leave that until he's born, and then we'll take it from there. We'll create a neutral space as the nurse. If anything overly gendered, we'll let him or her find their own way in the world. We have a son, and 35 seconds later, cars and fire engines and aeroplanes and tanks. I've apparently fathered the next generation of Top Gear presenter. I think I may have broken it. The biggest lie, though, is the lie that you tell each other where only one of us needs to be tired. There's no point both of us being tired, which is a thing you've done in theory. And you said, if the kid wakes up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I will deal with it. You don't have to. You stay asleep. And what that actually means is, if you even pretend to be asleep, I will stab you through the eye. So I've learned a lot of stuff that I never knew before. I've learned about baby clothes. 60% of baby clothes have tiny little teddy bear ears sewn onto them. Fucking weird for socks. 65% of my son's clothes have working pockets. He doesn't have any stuff. Only 4% of my wife's clothes have working pockets. My son doesn't have change and he doesn't have keys, but this does explain why you never see a baby with a handbag. I've been 50 now for 6 months, which is weird because I've seen on TV what's supposed to happen when I'm 50. I'm supposed to be ambushed constantly by people trying to sell me funeral insurance. That hasn't happened. Nobody has turned up in my conservatory with a box of parsnips to apologise for reading my post. That hasn't happened. I definitely feel shortchanged. I had an interesting 2019. I managed to get on television for about 35 seconds, which was brilliant because before that, I hadn't realised what I looked like. But thankfully, because of the miracle of the internet, kind strangers got in touch to let me know in forensic detail exactly what I look like. So because of the kind strangers, I now know that number one, I look like a dodgy estate agent off Midsummer Murders that you think did the murder, but then gets murdered. Number two, I look like the kind of tedious relative that comes to your house and then talks for an hour about the exact route I took to get there and the other route I considered and why those would have been wrong. Number three, I look like a friend of your dad that won't shut up about Screwfix. Number four, I look like Alec Baldwin survived a stroke. Number five, I look like Alan Titchmarsh ate Tommy Walsh. Yeah, that is the most accurate and most horrendous one. And that is the reason why every day I wake up, I go to the bathroom, I switch on the light and I look in the mirror and my first words to the universe every day are, oh, for fuck's sake. I told my wife because I thought she'd be sympathetic. Instead, she just changed her ringtone to the old Ground Force theme music. My wife is posh, by the way. My wife is like properly posh. Like she knows when to use a milk jug. She gets out the shower to have a wee. She's posh. Because she's always been posh, she doesn't understand that she's posh. She's one of those posh people. She's like, I don't think I am that posh. And I was like, you are definitely that posh. Like you can tell that she's posh because her grandparents' house is absolutely freezing. And it has a coach park and a gift shop. And she said, just because my grandparents have got an old house, that doesn't mean we're posh. And I said, you are posh. 3 of your immediate family have currently got a problem with their lake. And she said, that's not strictly true. My father is plagued by swans. The main reason you can tell she's posh is because she's got posh friends. And although she's got a normal person name, a lot of her posh friends have got posh person names. Now, they're lovely people. It's not been a problem. The only time it was a problem was 6 years ago when we got married. When we got married, I wanted to do something unique, but relatively inexpensive in case, as is statistically likely, the marriage didn't work out. So I thought what I would do is I would make a little hamper for her and her friends for the day after the hen party. So after the hen party, they wake up, they're feeling a bit shit. There's a great big present with a great big bow on it, and they open it up. And it's just got little silly jokey things that they might want the day after a hen party, like, you know, like Alka-Seltzer in case they're feeling a bit queasy, and ibuprofen in case they're a bit hungover, and blister plasters in case they've been dancing too much, and the morning after pill, and the number for the Samaritans, just like stuff they might want. Yeah. Now, 6 years ago, you might remember Coca-Cola did a global marketing campaign called Share a Coke with Friends, where they put people's names on Coke bottles. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a bottle of Coke for each of those women with their names on and put that in the hamper so they understand that I know who they are as people. And then I spent 7 months rummaging through fridges in supermarkets and newsagents, and I got none of the bottles I wanted. Because when Coca-Cola said share a Coke with friends, they apparently didn't anticipate friends called Tabitha, Narissa, Fenella, Pandora, and Camille. That is class war. But I'm not easily discouraged. I wrote to Coca-Cola, dear Coca-Cola, can I special order Coke bottles with particular names on? They wrote back, dear Mr. Page, we've had a lot of this kind of request. For it to be viable, you would need to order an entire production run of 12,000 bottles. I wrote back, money is no object. I'm planning a special birthday party for my daughter Pepsi. No reply. I have been writing stupid letters and getting no reply for over 25 years now. The first was when my friend David and I discovered that the city of Hull, have we all heard of Hull?
Yeah.
Of course you had. It's a dismal northern shithole. The mayor of Hull wanted to improve his city. Now, there's loads of things you could do to improve Hull, like a tsunami or a missile test. Summoning a demon. Any of those things would improve Hull. What he chose to do was to give £1.5 million to a firm of marketing consultants to rebrand Hull. And for their £1.5 million, what they got was the slogan, "It's never dull in Hull." That is not good value for money, £1.5 million for a slogan. And also, I've been to Hull 3 times, and I can tell you that that slogan is at best optimistic and at worst a flat-out fucking lie. So the town of Yate, you might not have heard of Yate. Yate is a suburb of Bristol where people marry their cousins and talk like pirates. Yate spent £1.5 million to get the slogan, "Yate's great." Yate is categorically not great. I have seen a man in Yate dragged from his car and beaten by an angry mob for buying olives. I've seen a man in Yate attacked in a nightclub with a shovel. Think about that. Think about the places you've been and think about their door policy and whether you would be allowed in carrying an agricultural implement. But David and I were inspired. We wrote to 41 local authorities offering them amazing mottos, not for £1.5 million, but for 150 quid. No council bought one of our mottos. Only one council bothered to write back. "Dear Mr. Page and Mr. Stonehouse, thank you very much for your suggested motto. Although we appreciate that changing our motto to yours might get us a more urban kind of tourist, we will not be using 'Get your bitchfield in Lichfield.'" 25 years on, I'm still gutted that we never got a reply from Cockermouth. Because I will guarantee if you drove somewhere and saw that their motto was "We're gagging for it," you would stick around. I'm going to go. It's been lovely to talk to you. Have a lovely rest of the weekend and stay safe and see you again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brilliant, Nick Page. God, excellent stuff. There we go. We have got 2 more acts to go at the moment. By the way, if I'm a little bit not entirely hearing you when stuff's going on, because they're saying, "Oh, I can hear something in the background," I can't. I've got hearing loss in my left ear. I'm sure it's left as you're looking at it because I'm looking at a mirror image right now. I had a bike crash about a week and a half ago or something like that, and I've really beaten myself up. I'm really quite good at bike crashes, to be honest with you. When I do, I go for town. This time I've just not a huge amount. It's just more kind of bruises there, sort of kind of purpley yellow. I'm not entirely sure. I've got one of those filters on that's going to make it look like I've got a 6-pack instead by mistake. But anyway, no, genuinely, that's it. But it's not the worst. I mean, the worst ever was I kind of, you know, that tarmac they have in playgrounds that's quite bouncy. Well, they don't have that on the road. And it was about 3.5 years ago when I went into a pothole and my back went over the top and I landed on it. And I smashed I actually exploded my collarbone. And I remember it because passed out. Sorry, what?
Show the tattoo.
Daniel, well, I will do in a moment. The point I was going to make was the fact that I kind of woke when I came to. There was an air ambulance landing in the field next to me, which was kind of bittersweet because part of me thought, "Oh, I might be close to dying," but the other part of me thought, "Well, I've never been in a helicopter before, so good day, bad day, and all the rest of it." But yeah, I ended up having to have a metal plate put from my neck all the way down to there, and every time I looked at it, it made me miserable because it just reminded me of the fact that I had a near-death experience. So to cheer myself up, I got this done on it. So that is now my tattoo. That scar there is the hill I was going down. There's me flying off the top of my bicycle. So there you go. I don't have a huge amount. That's the rule now. I can only have a tattoo when it's a near-death experience. So it was about 6 months later, I really badly burnt my hand taking a frittata out the oven. I just thought it just wasn't tattoo worthy. With a shout. Right. Okay. Like I said, 2 more acts to go, ladies and gentlemen. Please put your hands together. Welcome the brilliant Dinesh Nathan.
How are you doing? We good? Yeah. Good. Lockdown has got me messed up, man. I got ready for this gig. I put on aftershave. Joy. Nice. Makes no sense, man. I've been trying to be constructive during the lockdown. So I've tried to lose weight, right? I've been exercising a bit, eating better and all that, right? And I thought it was working, right? Because this young lady come up to me and she said, "Do you know who you look like?" I thought, here we go. About to reap the rewards of this, right? I don't know, Tupac? Idris Elba, perhaps? No. Ainsley Bloody Harriet.
It's a motivator.
Oh, thanks very much. That's worse than Ainsley Harriet. I said to my wife, right, do I look like Ainsley Harriet? And she said no. But now I'm starting to suspect that's why she married me. She's like, put the apron on again. Go on. Incredible. Like, I've just all I was trying to do was lose weight, right? Because obviously everyone's kind of conscious about their weight at the minute, right? And my wife made it worse this morning, right? I came out of the shower and just had my towel on. Sorry for that image, but I had the towel on, and my wife goes, thank you very much. Motivator is nailing this. Just had my towel on, and my wife goes, I found this article, 8 ways to lose belly fat. I was like, what? And she was like, oh, no, it's for me. It's for me. She's been a size 8 her entire life, right? She goes, I'm just going to leave it here. Just in case somebody wants to read it. What, in our bedroom, babe? So it's either me or the kids, isn't it, really? Unreal. Like, she doesn't get it because she hasn't had to worry about her weight as much as I have, right? Because like I said, she's always been a size 8, right? Same with my brother-in-law, right? He can eat whatever he wants and not put on any weight. How lucky is that? If I had one wish, right, it'd be that he gets fat. Unbelievable. I've done all sorts to try and lose the weight, right? I did a Tough Mudder, right? So, and I booked it 8 months in advance, right? My plan was I'll book it 8 months in advance, right? It'll give me 8 months worth of training and I'll smash this thing. What actually happened was I did no training and I spent 8 months trying to work out their refund policy. Must be a way out of this, right? But I don't get, it's like a mad concept to me. It's just asking for injury, isn't it? Like, I'm sure it's sponsored by Bupa. 100%. I've broken my leg. Cha-ching! They must love it. And imagine, I got around the whole thing, right? Uninjured, right? And I got to the car park, twisted my ankle. Well, I got home and my wife goes, oh, it must have been challenging. I was like, yeah. Uneven paving slabs everywhere. Nightmare. So I was so happy about what I did, right? That I went home and I said to my mum, I said, yeah, I did a Tough Mudder. I did the whole thing. You have to swim through ice cold water, army crawl under barbed wire, right? Jump over these 6-foot brick walls. I said it was fun. She said, that is not fun. That is how I got into this country. How lucky you are to be born in this country. What are you going to do next? Apply for a passport?
Oh.
Yeah, she's a crazy lady. Part of it's her fault though, right? She brings me sweets, cakes, fried food, all this stuff, right? And she'll give it to me and she'll go, don't get fat. She thinks I've got this magical way of being able to eat crap and not put on weight. So that suggests she thinks I chose this shape. Oh yeah, I love jiggling into my jeans, Mum. Amazing. It's incredible. But half of it, right, is she'll bring me around food. She's just so proud of her cooking, right? But she's so competitive, right? She happily will go to other people's houses and trash talk their food. She will sit at a dining table and go, way too much salt. Oh my gosh. Incredible, too much salt, right? And the thing is, I was too scared to ever compliment other people's food, right? Because if I said, oh, the food's nice, my mum would go, is it? Yeah. Why don't you ask if you could live here? So you can have it every day. Great. She sabotaged my wife's cooking as well, right? My wife was baking and my mum gave her plain flour instead of self-raising flour. So essentially, my wife made a red velvet cookie. My mum come in and she was like, oh, oh, what a shame. She's a crazy lady, and she's so competitive with it. She won't share any of her recipes with anyone, right? She's like she plays off like it's, you know, she's just naturally good at stuff.
Colonel.
Sorry?
Is she
Yeah, almost. Pretty much. It would be easier to get the KFC recipe than anything off my mum, I'll tell you that. But like, people will go, oh, I love your cooking. And she goes, oh, this? I always make 7 curries and 3 sides. And people are like, oh, could I have that recipe? She's like, of course, I'll send it in the post. What she means is, of my dead body, you bastard shit. And now, right, like I'm pretty sure that my mates used to just hang out with me because they loved my mum's cooking, right? They'd come round and go, all right, mate, yeah, can I have 2 naans? Yeah, unbelievable. And now, right, now what she does is she uses that as a way to get me to come home, right? Now that I'm married and I live with my wife and kids. So she uses it a way to bring me home. She'll be like, I have cooked a fresh curry. Something your Western wife cannot provide you. Come in, my child. Guys, thank you very much for listening to me. That is my time. You've been lovely. I've been Dinesh Nathan. Thank you very much. Take care.
Dinesh Nathan! Fabulous. Great stuff. Thank you, Din. As ever, brilliant. Right, what are we doing on time? Oh, blimey, we are ran right over. So I'm going to hand over pretty much instantaneously to our final act on the drop-in today. This is the beautiful thing about Krater Drop-In. We just get so many great acts who are popping along. And if you do want to contribute, please do. There is a link in the chat window and I will mention it at the very end. But right now, sit back, relax and enjoy for me, one of the best people in stand-up comedy. I genuinely mean that. I love the guy. So please put your hands together and welcome the fabulous Sean Walsh.
Here we are, yeah.
Woohoo!
And Sean's gone again.
Oh God! Hey. There's a green room. I don't know. Right. Okay. Thank you. Hello, everyone. It's nice to be here. So obviously, I don't know if you know, I normally have long hair. That has gone now. Thank you. Glad you like it. Lovely reaction. Actually, the best reaction I had was, it's genuinely true, from my mum when she saw it, which was, "Don't worry, it'll grow back." So that's really good for the self-esteem. I just wanted, I mean, there's a couple of reasons really. I felt like I wanted to clean up. I felt I wanted to look, I was just getting sick of the look. It was not a good look. And I'll tell you why it wasn't a good look. Before we went into lockdown, I was at King's Cross Station. A homeless bloke approached me from behind, tapped me on the shoulder, went, "Excuse you, mate." I turned round, he went, "Ah, oh, nothing." It's not the only reason. The other reason, and women, I think you'll be able to identify with this. This is the real problem with long hair. It's fucking hairbands. Finding hairbands. You buy thousands of hairbands on a Monday, and by the end of the week, you have about 4 left. You can't. They're just gone. They just disappear, evaporate into the space. I mean, you can't find. All I do is look for hairbands. Say to my girlfriend, "Have you seen my hairband? Have you seen my hairband?" People try to remember where they last saw hairbands. I think I saw one in the hallway by the clothes horse. You're looking for the clothes. There's not one there. Sometimes you spot a hairband. You're looking at the hairband when you don't need a hairband. You're looking at the hairband. Remember that's there. Remember that's there. But when I need a hairband, remember that's there. Then you need a hairband. You can't fucking remember. It's a pain in the arse, is what it is. And the straw that broke the camel's back. It's not even a straw. It's the piano. The piano that broke the camel's back. The last piano for me was when I needed to head out. I was in a rush. My hair, it was dirty. You know what it's like? It's dirty. It's dreading, and I had to go out. And I looked to state. And if I'm going to find a hairband, I'm looking for a hairband. I can't find a hairband. So what I do is I actually end up looking under the sofa, right? and I spot a hairband. So I get in and I'm sort of bending down, you know, when you're sort of looking for something under the sofa like this, and you can see the fluff. And there's always one sock. Why is it always one sock? There's one sock. The other one's fucked off. There's one sock.
Oh, you're still there?
And you're there. And
I'm back
I'm
again.
trying to reach the hairband, and I knock over a black coffee on my table, and I spill the black coffee, goes onto my rug. I can't do anything about it, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll deal with this in a minute. I'm going to grab the fucking hairband. So I'm underneath, like this, underneath, my arse in the air, back straight. There are yoga teachers charging 20 quid to teach the moves that I'm pulling underneath this sofa like this. I go in, and I then my left shoe hits the lampshade. This is true. The lampshade falls over me. The light bulb smashes. The lampshade lands in the black coffee, right? For a hairband. I'm under there, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm getting a hairband. And I managed to get a hairband, pull it out, and it's not a hairband. It is, in fact, a plastic circle that you rip off to open milk, right? And I'm looking at this, and when I'm looking at this, I see that a hairband is on my wrist. And I thought, I'm going to get a haircut. That's it. That's it. And I had enough. Where's my tea? Hang on, I had enough. So obviously a lot has happened. I don't do many of these Zoom gigs, and a lot has happened in the year. But before we get to that, there's something I want to get off my chest, and I think this is the platform to do it on. And really, it is to owners of the Fitbit. I'm talking to you, and you need to be told that how many steps you've done isn't as interesting for everyone else. You need to be told this, okay? Everyone, they would mid-conversation, they spring it on you. Oh, I've done 8,000 steps so far today. Have you? Well, don't let me stop you. Carry on. Keep going. See how far you get. And when you get there, bore the shit out of that person. Pain in the arse. It's always mid-conversation as well. Always mid-conversation, just to tell you something that your body, which is basically a minimum requirement of what any able-bodied person should be doing. I did my 10,000 steps. Looking at the wrist. Oh, 10,000 steps. I've got a bracelet. Tells me how many steps I've done. Oh, amazing. Oh, I've got a necklace. It tells me how many breaths I've taken today. Or a new earring. I've got a new earring. Apparently, I've done 9 dumps this week. It's called a shit bit. Are you happy now? There you go. Have you ever been with one? Owner of a Fitbit. It's the worst. The owner of a Fitbit, when they actually exceed, it's the worst is when you're with them and they exceed their own expectations of what they should be doing. That is the worst. You're just talking to them, see, oh yeah, well this week I'm gonna suddenly bang, mid-conversation. Oh my God! I've done 18,000 steps today. I mean, unless it was out of a wheelchair, I don't give a fuck who I am. I got 18,000 steps. 18,000 steps. Have you? Well, wait there whilst I fly off to Africa, find some gold and start making your medal. Maybe what we'll do, we'll hold an Olympic-sized ceremony, shall we? You can set the torch on fire. The whole nation can watch this fucking monumental, historic moment. Hopefully the Queen finds out and she'll drop your name at the Christmas speech. No one gives a shit. Shut the fuck up and stop trying to make yourself feel better about the fact that you haven't been for a jog. Yeah. Now, what I really want to get off my chest, and I don't know if this is the right platform to do it, and obviously I've not been able to see anyone else tonight, so I don't know what anyone else has been talking about in terms of the pandemic, but where I really want to start is with 2 words: fuck Zoom. That's what fuck Zoom. If it wasn't for this fucking video call, I would have been enjoying a perfectly lovely, enjoyable, relaxing global pandemic. But no, Zoom has got to turn up. Oh, do you want to jump on Zoom? Let's jump on. Who's jumping on Zoom? Who's jump on Zoom? Who's jumping on Zoom? No, I don't want to jump on Zoom. I want to lie down on my sofa, eating cottage cheese, watching MasterChef, and telling no one about no steps that I've done. That's what I want to be doing, okay? Fucking Zoom, it's just stressful anyway, the whole thing. It doesn't fucking work, does it? The technology's not ready. You wouldn't get this with a chair, would you? Yeah, a chair, oh, here's a new chair, only works twice a day. The rest of the time, you fall flat on your ass. It doesn't work. You're right. How are you? No, sorry, no. Well, hang on. I can't see you. I can't see you. I think you're on mute. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. If you can't hear them, then you're not going to be able to hear them fucking answering that question, are you? I can't hear you. Can you see me? After you. After you. No, after you. Wait, after you. No, you go. After you. Fucking hell. The only thing you can guarantee hearing on Zoom is when someone goes, "Is that better?" The Wi-Fi as well. It's always the Wi-Fi, isn't it? You get to the Wi-Fi, no one's up for return. No one will take responsibility for their Wi-Fi, will they? No one wants to own up and take responsibility for their shit Wi-Fi. Very odd. Break up. You think about love, heartbreak, breakups. You think about that. It's not you, it's me. Wi-Fi, I think it's you. This is what people say. I think it's you. I think you're the problem. Occasionally people will own up to it. What do we start trying to do? We start trying to fix the Wi-Fi. Why are we doing this? No one knows what Wi-Fi is. We just carry on. Oh, I say, I'm going to fix the what is Wi-Fi? Apparently it's everywhere now. The Wi-Fi is around me right now. I'm breathing in Wi-Fi. My lungs are checking my emails. I'm where the fuck is the Wi-Fi? What do? We try and fix it, do we? We all do the same thing. Hang on, I'll just put my phone on airplane mode. I'm just going to turn off the telly. Wait there. I'm just gonna put the kettle in the garden. Wait there. I'm just gonna move the router away from the bread bin. I'm just gonna bleed the radiator. Is that better? Is that better? Is that better? When all of the options have been exhausted and there's no other option, we all try the final thing. We look down the webcam at our participant and say, I'm going to try another room. This has never worked. Ever. It's never worked. We move the room, suddenly we're walking through the hallway. We get into another room. We go, is that better? Everyone goes, yeah, that's better. It's fucking not, is it? It's never been better. It's better in the other room.
Yeah,
it's just as it was, but we're too awkward to say. That's what the problem is we've been lied to by the technology. That's what it's the sci-fi movies. The sci-fi movies lied to us. Star Trek got our hopes up, didn't it? Star Trek got our hopes up. You never see Captain Picard on the bridge talking to a Klingon on the screen, do you? Going, I'm Captain Picard. Sometimes, have you ever seen that thing? It catches up on itself. That's weird, isn't it? Warp speed. Is that better? Yes, that's all from me. Thank you very much. Bye.
Sean Walsh, everybody. Sean Walsh. Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much there, Sean. With short hair, but most of his head was cut off from the top of the screen anyway, so you couldn't see it.
Yeah,
so that was the key thing. Anyway, look, guys, thank you so much for coming along today, as ever, for our Krater Drop-In. I hope you've enjoyed it. As ever, a small amount of begging from me as I bring up the old chat window link. So if you have a look in the chat window, it's tiny.cc/drop-in-chip-in. That's the account to go to if you would like to contribute any money towards the event. Then that would be great, because it obviously is entirely cheap to do this. And we had a fabulous lineup tonight. I hope you've enjoyed these guys. So as best as you can, whether you've got your audio on, we can hear your applause. Otherwise, just see it. We saw the fabulous Scott Bennett. We saw Callie Beaton. We saw Nick Elleray. We saw Alistair Barry. We saw Mark Simmons. We saw Nick Page. We saw Dinesh Nathan. And we saw Sean Walsh, everybody. And myself as well. Obviously, yes, I forgot myself. Thank you very much. That's right. So Stephen Grant as well. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining along. We will hopefully be back again next Friday, and then some news coming up soon about when the venues are slowly going to open. Hooray! Hooray! This can turn back into a job and not a fucking hobby. So cannot wait for that moment. No, don't get me wrong, I'm absolutely loving this, even though I now feel bad about the fact that I got a backdrop full of my own face when I used to earn money. Anyway, look, you guys have been lovely. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I've been Stephen Grant. Thank you. Goodbye.